The Tale of One-Eye Paul by W.M. Cuppernell. Please like, share, and subscribe for more stories. There are many cowboy stories of the Old West and the pioneers who searched for gold. However, there are many other tales that have not yet been told. Way out west, who was the best depended on the fastest draw. This is one of them, the tale of One-Eye Paul. Now, One-Eye Paul had a southern draw. From the state of Virginia he did detest. He had enough, he packed his stuff, and he headed west. From the westward trail he vowed not to fail in the adventure that did await, and headed to the town of Bodie for an uncertain fate. Though one eye he did have, the other one lost fighting in the Civil War, he was enticed by the thought of riches and the gold he was sure he would score. Bodie was his goal, he felt in his soul. It was California or bust. There was no need to delay, he was on his way, and in his 44 Colt he placed his trust. The West was untamed in those days, and Bodie was a wicked town, and in a wink of an eye, gunfire could fly, someone would be shot down. Paul was an honest man, and no trouble he wished to make, until that trouble found him. Its name of Fast Draw Jake. Now Jake was an evil man, with few rivals in his evil deeds, and just for the slightest reason, 24 men were now pushing up weeds. Their paths crossed in a saloon in Bodie on a scorching summer day. Neither one of them knew only one of them would walk away. As Paul got up to the bar and said, "Might I have a whiskey, please?" he got an itch in his nose. You know how it goes. He couldn't help it. He had to sneeze. Now Paul breathed in deep. Before he did let it go, just as Fast Draw Jake walked in, Paul was too busy to know. Paul let go with a frightful sneeze that blew Jake's hat to the ground. All at once the saloon was silent. No one made a sound. Paul wished to avoid a fight, said, "I'm deeply sorry, sir, but I am new to the West, and in this dustiness there seems to be no cure." Paul then said, "Please now let me, sir, buy you a round of drink." All Jake did was sneer, and Paul's heart began to sink. Jake snarled, "I got a round for you, and I will serve it very fast. That last sneeze you did will surely be your last." Jake reached for his trusted gun, and everyone but Paul ran to hide. And then the sheriff looked up from his cards and said, "Take the fight outside." Paul walked with a nervous twitch. Before he walked out the door, he prayed to his maker that day. He knew his odds were mighty poor. Now Jake was a prideful man. His shoulders never hunched. He bragged to all he would kill poor Paul, then after grab a bite of lunch. 20 paces they stood waiting for the other to make their move. Paul continued to pray he would win the day and his bravery he could prove. Fast Draw Jake with a lightning move reached for his shiny gun, but little did he know that it was his final show, for One-Eye Paul had already begun. Fast Draw Jake heard the shot, the last one he would ever hear. For the first time in his life, he felt the strife of the sting of fear. As Fast Draw Jake fell dead, the crowd shouted hip hooray, because One-Eye Paul had the quicker draw and had won the day. Now remember, way out west, who was the best was determined by the quicker draw. And do not forget, or you will regret, the tale of One-Eye Paul. The end.